Please subscribe. So, Commissioner, kind of on a lighter topic here, you mentioned to go in to the rodeo today. So, when you was a younger man, did you ever ride the bulls?
No, when I was a teenager or in college, I'd rode a bareback one time and I tried the bulldog one time. And I decided that wasn't my career path, that I was going to continue. Now, I don't know that I've ever, other than a mechanical bull, ridden a bull. I grew up, we had cattle, and Dad discouraged us from riding the cows and bulls. But yeah, no, I hadn't. But yeah, I'm a big supporter of the rodeo. I don't know if it was COVID or that show Yellowstone, but just this rodeo here in Montgomery, Southeastern Livestock Rodeo, has really grown, and the interest in it has grown. But yeah, hopefully this weather will hold off long enough we can have these 4 performances.
What do you enjoy most in the rodeo?
Which event?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably the bull riding. That's the reason they keep it at the end, because if they had it in the middle, people would leave after the bull ride. It's always the last event. But I like bareback and saddle bronc. I'm not a huge barrel racing, and a bulldog is pretty interesting. Team roping, but yeah, I mean, there's really no part of it I don't like. I like the grand entry when everybody rides around the arena.
Commissioner, the Alabama Farmers Federation and Jefferson County are like teaming up on some sort of livestock exposition, farm show type deal. I think on the Hallmark property on the northern end of Jefferson County. What's the progress on that?
Well, they had a board meeting yesterday at my office in our boardroom right outside that door over here. I didn't stay in there for the meeting. I don't know that I can really give you an update. I did ask the question, how many board meetings y'all had, and was told they'd had 3 or 4. The board's completely intact now. I mean, all the appointments have been made. I actually made 2 of the appointments to the board. But yeah, I think it's progressing on. Obviously there's money is anything like that. It's so they have to raise a certain amount of money from private sources, and then I think there's a commitment maybe from the state to, if they can do that, to give them a certain amount of money. But there's no doubt Alabama's facilities, livestock facilities, are behind all our neighboring states as far as what they have. And of course, the Department of Ag used to be involved with Garrett Coliseum, where the rodeo will be today, which is next door. But actually, under John McMillan, that was before me, was made to transition that from the state to the city of Montgomery. And so the city of Montgomery currently owns the Garrett Coliseum. But yeah, there is a need for a new farm center. And that's a beautiful piece of property. I've been up there and walked around it. And so, yeah, obviously there's a population base close to that between Birmingham, Rennie Coleman's right there. Huntsville's not far. Yeah, it's got some opportunities.
Commissioner, I got one question for you. Then I don't know if Brandon has any more, because I know you got to go. I want to keep you up from your rodeo. But last time, come back on that first subject, you said if you had told somebody you was running for governor before your wife found out, you'd be in a world of trouble. For whatever
That
office
was true, because I hadn't told her that. So I'm not going to say anything about that.
whatever you decide to do, does she have to make the final decision on that?
Well, I don't think she'd make it unilaterally, but yeah, that would be a family decision, because that changes. I really need to include my 2 boys in that, because yeah, and of course one of them's married, the other's engaged. How that impacts everybody's lives. And so, not that it's not ultimately my decision, but if I got, I mean, but yeah, certainly if they felt strongly that they didn't want to be to go through that, or didn't want a family to go through that, I'd have to listen to that and respect that.
Um, Commissioner, that's all the questions I have for you today. Thank you for coming on. Brandon, I don't know if you had anything else for him.
I probably got one. Commissioner, we raise fish down there in the ponds in, the Black Belt, Greene County, Marengo County, in that direction. Um, are foreign countries dumping fish in the U.S. market at below cost, and is that impacting our fish farmers?
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I would say I was at a meeting the other day and a guy that sells fish food to catfish farmers said that they estimate that 71% of the catfish is being bought are foreign catfish. And so Representative Chip Brown from down in Mobile has introduced some new legislation this year and he did last year as far as labeling and in conjunction with the Alabama Grocers Association to make sure that people, we probably can't keep it out, but people don't need to be tricked either. I mean, if that's what it is, it needs to say that on the package and people need to know, and then they make an informed buying decision on buying U.S. farm-raised catfish, or I'm buying something that's grown in some nasty water in wherever, Southeast Asia or China. And so that's our thing. And so it's not just catfish, it's shrimp also. I mean, and so we actually in Washington, I was up there 2 weeks ago, and so we proposed, as part of all 50 ag commissioners, we take policy positions and then ask our lobbyists to lobby for it. And so we actually passed, and I was the sponsor of it as far as catfish, but Texas ag commissioner put up shrimp. And I said, well, if we're going to do shrimp, we're going to do catfish. And we got to do something. USDA's got to help us with this situation. Yeah, because it's a real problem. I mean, things are being mislabeled, and the thing is, you catch like certain countries we don't accept import from, and then all they do is take it back outside our limits and repackage it and try again. It's like, but yeah, that's a real problem for our seafood industry, which we have. People would be surprised at the amount of seafood processing that goes on in the state of Alabama, as opposed to just having so little coastline. But we process a lot of crab from Louisiana and fish from Mississippi in Alabama. And so, we've got to make sure those people have a fair, level playing field, like catfish and our shrimp people.
Thank you so much for coming out and talking with us, Commissioner.
Glad to talk to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner. Have a great day, sir.
Bye-bye.